Hola y bienvenidos todos. Hoy es el 5 de mayo. Estamos celebrando cuando ganamos contra los franceses. Yo no soy mexicano, pero es el día para los mexicanos, el día para los latinos. Bienvenidos a otro episodio de Unaccompanied Minors. Este es episodio número 9. Número 9. Estoy hoy con Jeffrey.
Sí.
Y Justin.
Yeah, I didn't understand a single word you just said, but shout out to the Hispanics.
Sí, vamos a empezar. Ahora mismo. Gracias.
Woo!
I'm as an adult.
Right now, and I'm all about the guap.
Yeah, right. We want to thank our sponsors. You did? I'm not a fan of Mexo Cream. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Good night, Detroit.
Good night, Detroit. There we go. We're actually recording this time. I'll do a quick update. So as you guys can tell, we're in a new setup here, and we released an episode about a month or two ago, but that was an old one saved. But we're starting up again. I was moving, so we had to stop for a long time, and then school. But now it's summer. We have at least a little bit more time, and we have everything set up and more clear than we did before. But you can also tell we have a new cast here as well. We have Jeffrey and Justin, and you guys can introduce yourselves.
Hey, I'm Jeffrey. I also have a YouTube channel where I talk about music. I'm Conflicted, and I ended up meeting him through a friend, and we became friends for, I think, a couple months now. And then we ended up meeting Arnu at a Redville concert. It's been pretty crazy. A bunch of really good people, and yeah, it's been a trip.
Yo, it's Justin, aka Justy Buns on YouTube. I kind of do the same kind of content that I'm Conflicted, or Jeffrey does, whatever. I do this for the music. I love it. I mean, for every now and then I'll do something for the views, but I'm passionate about this stuff, so I'm kind of excited to start this podcast. So
Yeah, and then if you want, you can just hold it in the middle now.
Bless. So
But yeah.
the first topic, music to work out to. What do you guys listen to?
okay.
Oh yeah, here wait. I was gonna clear something up real quick. So we're still gonna. I didn't say this before because we had to re-record this, but whatever. So we're still gonna have like Tony, Adam, and all the guys you guys already know, to our 30 dedicated fans. But Justin and Jeffrey, so they both do YouTube and they do like music commentary on a bunch of different topics, and just it's all about music. And we also met at a concert, so on episodes that we're on, we'll be talking like more in depth about music, because as you know, with like the other episodes, we're always kind of just messing around. And we do talk about music, but we do a lot of like just comedy and improv. But these are the episodes that we're going to be more set and but talking about music, going in depth, maybe sometimes talking about just specific albums, things and playlists, whatever. But so if you're looking for music, you got to look out for the podcast's episodes with Justin, Jeffrey, and Arnow. And then for the other ones, it's the usual way. We're chilling in those. But yeah. And so, what's the topic we're talking about today?
The podcast episode that we're doing today, and we're going to start off with the topic of a workout playlist or artists, albums, anything that you can think of, because I feel like a lot of people struggle with having a consistent gym playlist. I see it all the time within my friends, the YouTube community, Twitter community, that, these gym playlists are saturated, or they're just the same things being recycled, the Till I Collapse, or just Drake playlists. Like, I feel that I don't know if you guys don't, but I feel that I got the right artists or albums to start off at your gym journey, just to get pumped. You don't need that what's that called, pre-workout. All you need to do is listen to these artists, and I feel like it gets you the pre-workout you need, so in a healthy manner. So the first artist, the first album we're gonna start off with is Key Glock, Glaucoma 2.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I have not listened to Key Glock.
So
actually, bro, it's
No.
so good.
tell me your opinion on what you think. I'm Conflicted on Key Glock. and his Glock.
Fair.
I'm conflicted.
I'm conflicted, man. I'm conflicted. I originally, when I first started listening to Key Glock, I had a hard time getting into it because I thought a lot of it was, I thought his voice was a little bit too stale for a second. Originally, it took me a second to get into it, but then I think a lot of the stuff he says is very interesting. Like it's like it genuinely, like it gets you hooked onto it, as well as his production and everything else has been incredible. So when I first listened to Glock Number 2, or even like a couple songs off that album, Justin put me on, especially Dirt. That song was wild. That song is crazy. And
Man.
I think, yeah, it's such a good song to start off. I think the biggest part when you're working out is you need to get in an incredibly excited, like you need to be like, I got this. I turn on, I don't sniff the pre-workout salts. I turn on Destroy Lonely and I start bench pressing my PR. So,
Bro,
it's
Glaucoma 2, for me, I can relate to the whole staleness and the repetitiveness of his flow. And I think that the album does lack in variety when it comes to flow switches or topic. But like I said, I've actually made a solo YouTube video on this and how, like, Key Glock is a definition of motivation. Mm-hmm. This man lost one of his closest, like, friends. It was his cousin, Young Dolph. Shout out to him, R.I.P. the Dolphin. And man, the fact that he lost someone so close to him and he's still pushing to feed his family, to feed the people he loves and cares about, like, you hear it in these lyrics. Like, the intro is literally telling him, like, I got it out the dirt. Like, I'm going to keep on getting this money because Young Dolph would want it that way. Young Dolph wouldn't want Key Glock to stop and just whine and cry. Obviously, that's a big deal, losing someone that is close to you. That could kill someone, like, mentally. That will bring someone to dark places that I can't even imagine. So for him to just lock in and drop banger after banger, like nothing just happened, and he's like, I'm gonna keep on going because Young Dolph would want it that way. So that's why Glaucoma 2 is one of my favorite albums this year. For rap, it's been really dry, but this album for me has been getting me in the gym, like, locked in. Like, I don't know what it is. I get this type of adrenaline rush when I listen to it. Like, I'll have it full blasted, noise cancellation on, bro. You won't even be able to talk to me. I don't care if you're my mom, but nah. But really, like, this album is amazing. I would really recommend you guys to listen to this. It's a trap album, so if you're not into trap, you know, give it a shot. I mean, I think it's a great album. Really
especially to introduce you to. I think it's a really great introductory album. The production, and yeah, hopefully we can get you guys listening to this real music. You know, man, real. And then, yeah, are now. I don't know. Have you listened to any Key Glock before, or have you heard of Key Glock at all? Or
No, so I have a friend, and he loves Key Glock, and him and his roommates, and they have like a poster on the wall and everything, and we'll be in like an Xbox parties chilling, and then all of a sudden, like, I hear people in the background, like, either like playing Key Glock or like they like yelling his lyrics or something. But I need to for sure listen to him more.
I forget.
I think for me, like, first of all, I need to start working out more because I used to a lot because I used to play a lot of soccer, but then I moved up here to Michigan where it's hella cold, and like there's not that many people into soccer up here. But I used to like do a lot of running and stuff. I just need to start doing that again. But whenever I did, I listened to like Metro Boomin.
Metro Boomin is good.
You can't go wrong with Metro.
Yeah, 21 Savage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, 21.
But then you also gotta throw in, like, sometimes I'd be in there like listening to like the Beatles.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Like I'd be in the gym, like or not in the gym, but like I usually did stuff at home. I'd be there like using like home weights and stuff, and I just hear like John Lennon being like,
Oh yeah.
"Imagine all the people,"
I'd
and
be
I'm like,
crying.
I'm running, and it's a different vibe, but like sometimes you're just like in your groove in a different way.
Yeah.
Because you're like, this is so sad. I'm gonna push through this.
Yeah, catch me listening to Frank Ocean, sitting there like tearing up, and like.
I tried doing that. I don't know what it is. Like, when I listen to that music, my mentality and just my body in general will like start to lax with it, and that's just me personally. Everyone has their own preference, but I think this is like my setup to go into the gym. I will play some bangers on the way, getting ready. I'm going in. I get in the gym, I'm playing bangers, but right after I get out of the gym, I will play the softest, the slowest, the chillest type of music because, bro, I'm trying to calm down. I'm listening to, you know what I mean? And most of the time it'll be night too. So I'll slap in my night playlist, and man, I don't know what it is. I got this routine. Like, the people that I work out with will even vouch for me. Like, once they get in the car, we're getting turned. We go to the gym. We'll do a group session, listen to some bangers together. And then we get in my car, and we're just like, oh, like, we just got the pump of our lives. And now we get to relax. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how your preparation is for going to the gym. And I know you said you haven't been going to the gym recently. And you be boxing. You be throwing in there. I've been seeing you box. Come on, now talk about it real quick.
Bro, so I'm built like an unfolded paperclip a little bit. But when I'm trying to bulk up, listen to Denzel Curry so I can get in like a weight class or something. I'm not good by any means, but I've gotten a lot better. And I think it's just a very important thing, especially when you're trying to be able to be like, I wouldn't say a public figure. I don't want my face to be like the
public figure. Dude, we're making out of Detroit.
Yeah, man. I don't want my face to be like a massive part of it. But if I do, I want to be able to defend myself. Because I'm like 5'7", man. I'm not the person who's gonna be like. I'm not a very aggressive person. But
You're a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah, but just in case, man, you don't mess with me. Yeah.
Watch out for I'm conflicted. For real. But let's transition to some of the albums that actually drop. It was a pretty active Good Music Friday, or I would say iffy Music Friday. We got artists like Destroy Lonely, IDK, Conway dropped, and there was a lot of singles, which I want to mention actually. The best single that dropped today, in my opinion, was the Roddy Ricch, Gucci Mane, and Nardo Wick song. I forgot what it's called. I actually added it to our playlist. I'm automatically thinking it's about to be mid. I mean, like, Roddy Ricch has been on the decline. Nardo Wick, I mean, it's a hit or miss for me. And Gucci Mane has a pretty strong mixtape that era that I've gotten into once I bought like CDs and everything. So Gucci Mane is definitely slept on when talking about trap goats, I say, in the new generation. People tend to forget about Gucci Mane and all the sons he's birthed. But this song was actually a banger. And guess who carried? Roddy Ricch carried. Roddy Ricch had the hook of the century. When you listen to this song, add it to your workout playlist. Like, I'm serious. I added it to our playlist. I mean, not many people are going to talk about it because, I mean, no one cares really. You know what I mean? But the fact is that's the best single, in my opinion, that dropped. I know Brent Faiyaz and Marshmello dropped a song. It was only 2 minutes. Yeah, Marshmello. Produced by Marshmello.
Caught me off guard.
It's okay. It's 2 minutes, though. I feel like it was short-lived, so it didn't have any time to even become something. I think it was just so quick that I was like, damn, I just finished the song. Like, it's over with.
I'm hard-headed.
But did you listen to any albums today? Even new ones that didn't drop. Like, any albums that you guys listen to?
I listened to Lone. Also, I mean, I thought that was alright. I listened to the Marshmello song also. I'm really excited to hear the Roddy Ricch. Roddy Ricch has been interesting recently. But, yeah, man, that... I lost the train of thought.
You're good. We're talking about albums, whether they drop today or just albums in general you listen to.
Yeah.
In general.
My bad. The Marshmello and Brent Faiyaz song, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a little bit hard-headed towards Marshmello's music. I mean, I feel like as a character, he's a little bit corny. I'm not gonna lie to you, especially some of his antics, man. He's really quiet. He doesn't talk.
Say what antics. I mean, Marshmello's cool. He just has that pop appeal, kid-friendly appeal. So obviously, it doesn't appeal to me or the audience that I surround myself with. So I'm not gonna just start hating on a man. I mean, I respect his grind. I just think he does tend to collaborate with rap artists. I mean, he actually collaborated with SOB, RBE, like 2018, 2019, and there were actually some bangers. Like, he produced some good rap tracks before. It's just a hit or miss. You'll get songs like Every Day with Logic and, you know, these pop, like I said, influence songs that are trying to get that hit. So, but to me, I don't think this one hit. So.
Yeah, it was alright. Did you listen?
What about you are now?
I mean, the newest stuff that I listened to, because we went to the Redville concert, and what was that, like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Maybe 3.
Mid-March, right?
Yeah, it was either 2 or 3 weeks ago. But we went there, and because I had gotten the invite to go, and I had been wanting to listen to Redville for a while. Because, I mean, I saw a Hive Mind video, and they talked about it, and I was like, I gotta start listening to this. And this was, like, months ago.
Hive mind.
And, yeah, I won't bring that up in a second. But, it was, like, the day of the concert. It was the morning. I didn't even know it was the day. My friend was like, you ready for the concert today? I was like, oh, shit. And, like, I forgot completely about it. And, like, all that day, I would just listen to Learn to Swim. And it is, like, an incredible album now. It's definitely one of, like, the albums I'm listening to most right now. And then also, the day of the concert, he released an EP, Playing with Fire.
Yeah.
And I've been listening to that as well. I don't think it's as good as, like, Learn to Swim. But, you know, he's branching out. One thing that I thought was cool was, like, because in there, he's like, my uncle's talking to me, and it's like, he has just like phone calls or something from his uncle, which I don't know if it actually is, but that's the idea of it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I have a theory that he got it from Tyler, the Creator. So,
What you connected it to?
Tyler, the Creator, he has Golf LaFleur, like his fashion brand.
Oh, you're right.
And one of the ads that he did was he came out with like luggage, like not like suitcases, but like ones that just like the ones you carry. You know what I mean?
Are you talking about gift bag?
Not like a gift, but it's like an actual like one they use to travel.
Oh yeah.
But he came out with one of those, and the ad for it was he made like a video for it, like a promotional video for like these travel bags, and it was like a dad writing a letter to his son, and he's like, oh, I went all around the world with this, like I went to like I DJ'd at all these parties, I played house music, I ran away from cartels here, I went flying here, I did skiing here, and it's like, but he has music playing and it goes with it, so it's like, whenever he had that and whenever I heard it at the concert as well, it's also a very like generic idea. It's just like you're getting a call from a family member.
Yeah.
But whenever I first heard it, I was like, damn, this is like that Tyler ad that he did for the.
Yeah.
But that's my theory.
Didn't Tyler co-sign him actually? Like, I'm pretty sure Tyler posted
Co-sign
him.
him, like, just posted him, tweeted, like,
Yeah.
what did he do?
I think he posted him on his Instagram or something like that.
That's cool.
And then
It's a big cosign.
Yeah, that's a really big. If I was making
I don't
music.
remember that.
I don't
Yeah.
either, but that's pretty cool if that's true.
Yeah.
Bringing up the EP real quick, I actually was kind of like, and this is like I said, it dropped when we're on the way to the concert type stuff, like
2 days after my birthday.
yeah, and I'm like, you know, I was like, I hope I can grow into it, like whatever,
Yeah.
and I think it was just the right mindset I needed to listen to it because. And like listening to Destroy Lonely and certain artists, I have to be in a certain mindset or a mood to listen to it, because if I listen to Destroy Lonely in an irritated mood, I'm gonna be more irritated regardless if it's bangers or not, because obviously the type of sound is more loud and mosh pit energy. So like when I'm irritated, I don't want to listen to that. So like, and I was in a pretty tired and mad mood when listening to that EP. So I think I was just so harsh, like right away, like just finding every little thing to critique. And sometimes I get that way with certain artists, or just depending on who it is. But I don't know what it was. It was nice out for once in Michigan.
Yeah.
I was listening to the EP again, windows down, and I was like, hold up. I was literally texting I'm Conflicted. I was literally texting Jeffrey. And I was like, hold up, I actually like the song. I said it like twice or three times.
Was it
I think the
F2F?
intro song is pretty good.
Oh no,
The
FTG.
outro, I don't remember the names.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm not gonna lie, but I remember texting. I'm like, yo, I actually do like these songs. Like, never mind. I guess I was just in a bad mood because I was like, okay, this is actually going because the bass is
Captain.
kicking.
I don't really like Captain that much.
Really?
Which
Yeah.
one's Captain?
The
Sorry.
I don't know. I actually don't remember it
Man,
off the top of my head, but I remember like.
I guess I gotta go listen to that EP again. So
Yeah, we'll listen to it and then we'll see. But I just remember it was iffy. That's what I remember. There's a few good songs.
F2G wasn't good, in my opinion. I think that it was good for a second, but then I was like, man, I don't like it. I mean, I think Justin said he had.
I was like that, but then it just grew on me again. That was another song that grew on me. So
Yeah. We'll be right back.
But yeah,
K-Dot.
Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah,
man.
so for these special episodes that we do with Justin and Jeffrey, one thing we're gonna do is like the beginning. As you listened to for our audio listeners, we just talk about whatever. Like we did the gym playlist, and then just like stuff, new music that we're listening to. But one thing that we're gonna start doing more often, or at least for 20 to 40 minutes each episode, is talking about one specific artist. And then just because it's a classic, I feel like he's had a big influence on our music listening lives, and just like influenced, I feel, a great amount of artists and made a great impact. Kendrick Lamar.
I guess we'll start off and we'll kind of just piggyback off each other. Good Kid, Mad City. That, to me, obviously everyone is conflicted. I'm conflicted, whatever. When it comes to talking about Kendrick's best, that one has a strong bias with me, regardless if I ever just try to think objectively, quote unquote, on what album is better. Man, GKMC, Good Kid, Mad City, whatever you want to call it, has a big part on me expanding my music taste. That was like my starter pack. Him and Kanye, so
so much to talk about there.
Listening to that album, I listened to it front to back because I only had 3 CDs when I first got my car, and that was Freddie Gibbs' Alfredo, Denzel Curry Unlocked, and Good Kid, Mad City, Kendrick Lamar.
Good choices.
So I just had those 3 for a while. I'm talking about like 4 months, I would say. Just those 3, just listening to the same thing over and over. And that could be repetitive, yes, but that gave me so much time to not look at my phone, not look at anyone else's opinion, and try to figure out what this album is all about. Try to see what the storyline is and how it goes from track to track. And once I realized how smart and just amazing that album was created, dense. Like I just remember what's the 4th song on the album when they're in the back seat of the car?
Backseat Freestyle?
No. We make a right, we made a left, and made a right, then another.
Sing About Me on Dying Thirst?
No.
Wait, no.
This is when they're in the middle of a robbery, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Why can't I not think of the name? That's why I'm blinking.
When I'm with the homies.
Yeah. Shit, I'm with the homies. Bro, that song, I don't know why I can't think of the name. I'm talking and praising like I've been listening to this album for 4 months, but can't even say the name.
It's so dense. RP Pressure.
Yes, why could I not think of that? It's because I'm on the podcast. I kid you not. If the camera's off, I would have said it. But anyways, like, I remember when I first was listening to that, it's nighttime too, so that fits the setting. And man, I was literally mind blown. Like I got my stepbrother in the car. I'm like, yo, listen to this. I said, listen to what Kendrick is listening or saying right now. Like, listen, goddammit.
Yes,
and he was like, bro, this is amazing. And now he loves the album. Like, I'm about to do the same thing with my recently newborn brother. Like, he's gonna have the music taste.
It's so lyrically dense, bro. And there's so much you could talk about Kendrick, especially that album. To Pimp a Butterfly, and that both are very. I think Good Kid, Mad City is a little bit more musically in touch rather than Good Kid, Mad City. I mean, it has jazz inspo, but at the same time, I feel like it's more conceptual.
Well, they both have a concept because T-Pab is more of like poetic. It's poetry. It's like you're writing in a journal, because obviously in the end it will expand on the letter. I think it's a Tupac, or it was supposed to be To Pimp a Caterpillar. Was that the name of the album?
Yeah, I seen
supposed to be. Good Kid, Mad City to me is just more of a cinematic thing. Like, I could see it being a movie, and I think that's what made me more interested in that album.
Yeah.
But also, To Pimp a Butterfly doesn't relate to any of us. We can't relate to the type of topics that Kendrick expands on and goes really in depth on. So like, obviously there's that barrier, but I can still enjoy the album. I can still see the greatness in it, and I always go for the sound.
Yeah, I think Good Kid, Mad City is a lot more digestible for the most part.
I think the first Kendrick album that I listened to, because for the longest time I had a friend that was like huge on Kendrick. Like, he's like, ask me about any song, like I'll know the background of it, and he's so a huge fan. And the first Kendrick song that I listened to and like really was like, my Kendrick song that I like, not just like what was playing, was XXX.
Oh, that song
Damn.
Such an underrated pick.
Or The Alarm, bro.
That is still like one of my favorite Kendrick songs, and I just like that was. I didn't know any other Kendrick songs, but I knew all the words to XXX.
Man, I need to see you in a
And-
car rapping that now.
And then I was just there chilling, and my friend was like, "Oh, like he might be coming out with a new album in however long." It was still a while. Like it was a year or two before Mr. Morale came out.
Oh, okay.
Because I started like really like listening to him whenever Just Damn was out
Same.
or had come out, and so I was listening to XXX. But I think the one that had the biggest impression was also Good Kid, Mad City.
Such a
Because
beautiful
I
album.
love Damn, but whenever I listen to Good Kid, Mad City, I was like,
You got the record vinyls, man.
yeah, I have it on vinyl.
Yeah, it's actually really cool.
So do I.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I have the collector's edition of Good Kid, Mad City, but I have a black. I had a black mom
Yeah,
van.
isn't it the black one
Yeah,
with just the
I got
van?
that one
Yes,
too as well.
bro.
It's cool. I like it.
Yeah, my van reminded me. I had a personal connection, just because I like the van on the cover. So I'd be like, I detached that. Like, I love this van, man. I'd be listening to it. He's talking about the most in-depth thing of all time, and I'm sitting here like, man, this van, bro, this van. Sing about me, I'm dying of thirst, man.
Oh.
That's arguably his best song of all time.
I think it is. I mean, it could be argued for a lot of songs.
Yeah,
And
he has so
I
many.
want to pick back up just shortly for bringing up XXX. Like that song, like I feel like that song doesn't get talked about as
Yeah.
one of the favorites, or just those songs that like people will just want to actually give its credit to. Because man, I remember listening to Damn because I became a fan around To Pimp a Butterfly era, so that's what got me into Kendrick. But when I listened to Damn, I was like so like just quick to just dismiss it. I didn't like Damn. Shout out to Isaac, aka Prebuttal on YouTube, because he got me the Damn CD and I re-listened to it and I'm like, wow, like I actually like this. Like I was just quick to hate it because a lot of people do like to dismiss Damn, but now that Mr. Morale dropped, a lot of people are doing that with Mr. Morale. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
That's just
So-
how it is, man.
Yeah,
I-
no, when that dropped and everybody was dogging on Mr.
Mhm.
Morale.
I
They were
wasn't.
They were like, this is ass, like he hyped us up with the Heart Part 5 and like this album is so mid.
Mm.
And I was like, I think musically and like just listening to it like, oh, this is great music, it's not like up there, but I think influence wise and the stories that he's trying to tell, I think it's his most significant album. Like
Such a beautiful album.
Look,
the stories behind
It's
it,
a
like I know
double
To
header.
Pimp a Butterfly and even Damn and all of those like have incredible messages, but like I think specifically when he's on there, because he's also talking a lot of like what happened in his childhood
mental health.
and yeah, mental health and like just the idea of, because one thing that he talks about a lot in Mr. Morale is like, because he brought up R. Kelly and he was like, what happens to you in your youth like will come back up in your adulthood. Like
Yep.
R. Kelly was sexually abused, so now he's doing this to
Cause and effect.
to all these people. And then to not only emphasize that further by putting Kodak Black on the album,
Mm-hmm.
because Kodak
What a
Black, he went to
beautiful choice.
prison and he's talking about all these things. Because for me, I thought it was like he's talking about Kodak, but Kodak doesn't even know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because whenever I hear him talking about this, and Kodak is somebody that like he like stuff happened in his past, and now he had gone to prison for, I forgot what it was exactly.
Well, no, yeah, he's been in and
He's
out
in
of
and
prison
out,
for
man.
multiple
Yeah.
things, but he also pleaded. He like took a plea deal for our allegations, so he's considered to be a rapist. So
Yeah.
kind of a big deal as well.
But then like
Not kind
to
of,
be able
it's
to
a big
talk
deal.
about that and like have that theme in
Flaw.
the album and then include Kodak,
Yeah.
because I think what he's trying to do that album is not give an excuse or justify it in any way, but just simply like explain
Yeah.
why that happens. And then he's able to, once he's explained that through like R. Kelly and having songs with Kodak, he brings on Auntie Diaries, that song, and then also I forgot which song it was exactly.
Mother I Sober.
Yeah, Mother I Sober.
Beautiful.
That's a great song.
And just talk about like things that he's talked in his past, or what things that happened in his past and how he's been abused and how people close to him have been abused, but how has been able to overcome that. So
Yeah.
you kind of see like the duality. You see R. Kelly these things happened in his past and he's been abused, and now he's replicating these things, like he's keeping the cycle going. But Kendrick, these things happened in his past and he was able to break the cycle.
Yeah.
And that's why he also includes, like, I think it's on Mother I Sober, where he has like the little kid be like, "Thank you, Daddy," and he's like, "You broke
Breaking
a
this-
generational curse."
That's so beautiful, bro.
Incredible song.
Great way to close. I felt, even though, what's the closer instead of that song? I chose me,
is
I'm
it Crown or Mirror?
sorry. No,
It's
I think
not Mirror.
It might be Mirror.
I think it is Mirror, because Crown was like the
Crown was in the
yeah,
middle,
which,
because it was supposed to be like a book.
Crown is
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
underrated. I love Crown. Like,
I
that's
love
one of my
Crown is so
favorite
good.
songs on the album. I think it gets too much like hate because it's too boring or
But
too
it's-
stripped back. But that's what I like about it, the build up to it, and like then you got these people singing in the background. I can't please everybody, because they're also
I
talking
love
about
that song.
taking the crown off of his head, because his whole career, you know, obviously he would have, you know, his subliminals. I mean, he had the Control verse. He is done being that savior complex. He took the crown off and said, you know, I'm not a god. You know, I'm human, and that's why this is his most human album. This is the most, you know, something relatable, I would say. Like, we can actually relate to this, and this is Kendrick we're talking about. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So a lot of people have that god complex on artists, and I think it's real cool how Kendrick went about that. So
Celebrities, man. Celebrities often get put on like a high like pedestal. I actually have a video I dislike idolizing. I mean, I feel like it's good to follow in people's footsteps, but you can't be acting like everybody's perfect. People box in what a good person is and what a bad person is, but everybody has flaws, and Mr. Moore on the Big Steppers is a really good, it goes to show everything's cause and effect, man. It's such a beautiful, the description of like the bringing up of R. Kelly, or even having Kodak on the album itself, such a good choice. People were like, why is Kodak on this? But it's like, it was really
I thought it was really controversial as well.
it is, and I think one of the big things, I also made a video about something like this, which is separating the art from the person. You know, like,
Yes.
that's a hard thing to do, because depending on the scenario, the artist, and you know what's going on, and if you have really strong beliefs on what has happened, it will take someone to throw away their vinyls, burn artists' clothing.
man.
You know what I mean? Like those type of things. And when I see that, I'm like, holy crap, this is stupid. Like, this is crazy. But I do try to, because sometimes it is attention seeking. So
Yeah.
like, but I try to think of it in an outsider's perspective. Like, maybe they had a really strong belief. Like, what if I was Jewish? What if, like, bringing up Kanye, like, and just, that's the easier one to talk about.
Yeah.
But like,
Kanye,
what if I
man.
was Jewish, and what if I had such a strong belief towards that? I feel like I would be really conflicted as a person listening to Kanye, or, you know, talking about him, bringing him up, thinking about him, you know, idolizing him in some
Yeah.
way. Like, that's a little weird. So I can see where some people are coming from.
As a Kanye fan, you have to have you have to be able to
Yeah.
because that's some people are like, man,
I think they're in
I
the
think
life.
I had my first experience with that, apart from Kanye. So Rex Orange County, a few months ago, or it was maybe a bit longer, but it was still within the year ago. There's like a bunch of stories came out. He was like he sexually assaulted somebody. Like he was going to court for it, and it was like months went by, and I was like, Rex Orange County, to me, like, he was one of the first artists in general that wasn't like somebody that my dad listened to, or somebody that listened to music that I liked, and I'm like, oh, this is good. It was one of my first artists. I found him before even Apricot Princess came out.
Wow.
He was like, it was literally just like a section on YouTube, like up and coming artists, and it was like, it played Japan by Rex Orange County off of his first album, and I was like, this guy is awesome. And then I kept listening to him, and then like literally within the same month, Apricot Princess came out, and it was like my artist, because it was like, that's whenever I first got my sound. Like, I was like, yeah, here, wait a second. There we go. Like, it was like not indie, but it wasn't pop, and I was like, this is the first artist that, like, you know, was mine. And I was like, I found this guy, and I showed him to my friends. And then whenever those stories came out, like, I was like genuinely like heartbroken.
thank God they got cleared up.
And like I didn't listen I didn't listen to all like his music for like those months, and I was like, because like it just like sits with you, like you're listening to the music and like you love it, but like the whole time you're thinking about like, damn, I can't believe you did this. And then luckily, praise the Lord above, there was like proof and evidence that came out that it wasn't true. They had footage and like the person was just lying, which is terrible. And he was able to post, he was like, I wasn't able to talk about this because like, you know, they were still looking through evidence, but like, and the whole thing was fake, and he's still like, once like I remember that day happened, I had like a huge Rex Orange County like listening party, and I was like the whole time just able to like listen to his music again and like be happy and just like the music without that in the back of my mind.
It's so horrible because some people still think that he did it because they don't get educated.
Sustained.
Because and some people don't know like that it even came out that he's like that it wasn't real and that there was evidence against it to prove that it wasn't real.
That news is so much smaller because people immediately jump to that, but then nobody ever is like, oh, he's actually, because it's a way smaller story than saying this person did this horrible thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I can relate. It definitely put me off when I heard about that, because I was actually, that was around the time where I'd say a few months before that came out, I was really into Rex Orange County, like really into him, started to listen to more in discography, because I knew Rex Orange County songs obviously from Tyler, but like I didn't get in depth in his discography, and I really got into it. I was like, man, this is real good, and it was also my gateway artist to listen to alternative music and something that's not rap. And once I found that out, I literally like killed not only like him from being my top 10 of that year for 2022 albums, but also just killed my listening. Like it definitely would have been one of my top albums for 2022, but it really like stunned it, and I just think that probably happened with a lot of his fans. So I mean, that's a huge deal.
I forgot how we got here. We were talking something about Kendrick. I think it's because he had Kodak on it.
Yeah, and then we're just talking about controversies basically, and like
because I thought it was controversial. From an
artist, and like I said, like we all said, like Kendrick did something really great with Mr. Morale, and I think over time it will get back in our rotation, because for a while Mr. Morale was getting played heavily for me. I know a lot of people talk about replay value being an issue, but that wasn't an issue for me.
For me, that is not an issue.
Like,
dude, I love that album.
I definitely haven't went through it front to back in a minute, but
it's like 18 songs.
I think so. It was double-sided.
It's double-sided, yeah.
9 and
because
9.
It's supposed to be like, one thing I thought was cool is like it's supposed to be like a book, because like I think this is how they explained it. So he has the first 7 songs and the other 7, and it folds like a book. So like the songs at each end are supposed to have some thematic or something of value, and I forgot what it is exactly, but that whole album, like each song has meaning, the order of the songs, the names of the songs, the cover, everything. The album is just one of my favorites for sure.
I just wish Kendrick did more films, to be honest. Like ever since I heard Good Kid, Mad City, and I was able to, connect the dots and understand the storyline, and it was just crazy. I was mind blown. So like I was like, why is there not no movie, or why is there not like that was my first mind that came to mind. I was like, what the hell? Like, why is this not a movie? Like, I would literally watch this all the time.
I would too.
That like you can make something out of everything. I think To Pimp a Butterfly would be a nice like journal entry, and I would think, damn, is another way to do a movie. Like, and then you have Mr. Morale. I could see that being like a theater or theatrical type of feel. Like it's just
theatrical as hell.
Yeah, I saw one person be like a theory. I forgot what it was. So Dan was supposed to be like a newspaper, because it even has like the Time magazine font as the damn. To Pimp a Butterfly, like a journal, poetry, and then Mr. Morale, because it came out, it was like people not leaking it, but they were like, Mr. Morale is gonna be like a theater, like a production type thing. But yeah, and then we'll stop right here for a second, and we'll be right back. Thank you. All right, continuing. Kendrick. So you brought up, while we were gone, stop recording for a minute, you brought up the dates as well. I hadn't heard this before, so I wanted to include it in the recording.
This is wild. I'm not gonna lie to you, but for the first couple, or I think after Section 80, Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, and I think maybe Mr. More on the Big Steppers. Each of the dates that it was dropped, the months would either go down or up, and then by like 1 month, and then the other one would go up or down by 1 day. I forgot the exact order of it, but I think that's really interesting. People were speculating, so we could get the next Kendrick album the next day, month. So that's something to look forward to. He could be dropping again this year.
Well, there was a PG Lang post actually that I see that new music coming soon. We don't know if it's a PG Lang collab album. We don't know if it's an Untitled Master 2. We don't know if it's new Baby Keem. We don't know. But all we do know is that there's something being hinted. So I'm pretty excited. I mean, PG Lang, Kendrick's album or label that he started. So I'm excited to see what he can do, because Dreamville to me is a great example on how you should run a label. There's so many great artists that have their own little lane, their fan base, and then when they all come together, it's so cool. Like when I listen to these Dreamville albums, like it isn't anything mind blowing, but the way they have chemistry together, you didn't see that with other record labels. I mean, the only time I do see that would be like Griselda, and Griselda isn't
really
also
good.
88 Rising.
Oh yeah,
88
like
Rising.
Joji.
They have
them.
Joji, Rich Brian.
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten into that type of music yet. I only know like certain songs, but I never got
You
in
gotta
depth.
get on. That's see, the thing is like I face this problem sometimes when we're recording other. So like big artists that I should know, or not big, but like JPEG Mafia, or even like Redville as of a month ago, Destroy Lonely, Future, Lil Baby, all these people. They're people that I haven't listened to.
Yeah.
That are in terms of like. I feel like a lot of people that are music fans and listen to like music podcasts and stuff like that, they know those people really well. So that's something that I'm like, shit, I should listen to them more. But then whenever it comes to like, that's one thing that I think I cover a certain fan base that others, typical music podcasts don't. Because like 88 Rising, Joji, a lot of indie and alternative is what I was really into before I got into rap. So that's something I'm definitely going to be talking about more along the lines, and that's what my main focus is on. I can still obviously add to like big artists, Tyler, Kendrick, and even some smaller ones, but that'll be my focus, what I can add to a lot.
I think for me would be more like the coke rap scene. Ever since I've listened to Freddie Gibbs, Pusha T, the Griselda members, any of these coke rappers, that's where I feel I'm most knowledgeable about. Like I've listened to so many albums that I feel like I snorted a line a few times while listening to their music. So
Contagious.
like I've been so infatuated with that subgenre of rap because it's just the way they could make a picture with just talking about drugs. Like, and obviously I can't relate to that, obviously, but maybe I don't know. We don't know actually. But I don't know what it is. Once it clicks, you can't go back. I think that's one of those things. Like once Pusha T, West Side Gun, and all these artists, once they clicked with me, like I'm obsessed with them. Like I like their ad libs. I like everything, the little things that they add to the music. It's not cinematic, crazy production. It isn't anything mind blowing. But once you get into it, I think it's different. You'll be like, damn, like there is rappers that are actually like just straight up rapping still. They're just, it's not in that mainstream light anymore. I would say.
Back to earlier, about the it's similar to that, where well, this is completely different actually, but but
You
like,
want to bring up the designer stuff or no?
no, not, oh god, that's something.
We'll finish
That's-
Kendrick. We'll finish Kendrick.
The label, the PG Lang label, bro, it's so good, man. Like I feel like it's gonna get so much more interesting, like as this goes on, because Kendrick Lamar is so like he has an actual idea and a vision with this. I'm very excited. I'm pretty sure Baby Keem's actually 2 years ago on Scapegoats, he said he was gonna be telling a story 2 years from now, which is this year. So I think Baby Keem, man.
Maybe. I mean, I just hope. I mean, not hope. I would think that Kendrick would set up his label in a better position than TDE did.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously TDE put a lot of his artists in great positions. Even Kendrick himself has said like doesn't want to keep bad blood. A lot of artists try to do that with their labels, even if there was like some miscommunications and some bad blood between certain people and within that label. But TDE definitely lost its potential. I mean, SZA and a lot of these Schoolboy Q, Absol, they really had a great package, but I felt like they just didn't do enough. They could have done a lot more, but outside of Kendrick, because when people bring up labels or this label versus this label, TDE really, like, when people think of TDE, people just think of Kendrick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And SZA is so, like, out of the, like, you know, realm of TDE, because everyone else, like Schoolboy Q, Absol, they're in that relatively in the same lane, and then you just throw SZA in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, SZA.
So I feel like, and she's had label issues, you know, ever since dropping even Control. Like, there's been a feud between her and her label, like, good and bad, and I think PG Lang, I would hope, would be ran a lot better.
Yeah, it's almost like a family-owned business of the music label industry, man. It feels like a family-owned business almost. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
And it's very, very good with how it's gone.
I think they're also, I mean, like TDE, and obviously I feel like those are more in tune with like their artists as well. But like, I think there's gonna be a very big creative aspect to PG Lang as well. Because I remember, because I had the blessing and the opportunity to go to the Kendrick concert for Mr. Morale.
That was so
And-
good, bro.
Like for him to like include like PG Lang like before the show started.
Yeah.
And like talk about it, or like there was like the illustration or like the stuff on the screens that like brought up like PG Lang, and I think there's gonna be like a more creative aspect that the artists that are a part of PG Lang are gonna be able to be proud of, like, because instead of just being part of a record label, they're gonna be able to be part of something that's like, I feel like, very focused on artists and being able to portray what those people are thinking and creativity.
Yeah.
So it'll be exciting. I'm excited to see what happens with it.
He's so
Most
creative.
definitely.
Yeah. Designer, though.
Yeah, so we're done with Kendrick. I haven't heard about this. I don't know like many
Okay.
details. So you guys are gonna have to start.
Can I
off.
start it off?
Yeah, bro.
Because I actually plan on making a video about it, because I forgot. I'm going to plug the YouTuber on the channel that actually motivated me to make the video. So I don't want to just be like ripping someone content. But basically, the designer fall off has obviously been well known, but there's more to it. I mean, there's been a lot of mental health issues, and he always portrayed himself on camera or around other people at, you know, either concerts, award shows, positive energy. He seemed like a great dude, you know what I mean? And he always had that like positive outlook, but once he signed to Good Music, obviously that's a big deal because Kanye, you know, that's his label, but it wasn't handled right. You had the people like Big Sean's, Pusha T, all have their own conflict when it comes to that signing into Good Music. So there was a lot of conflict with Designer and Kanye. He was just trying to make it. Designer was always pushing that positive, like, oh, Kanye, you know, that's my biggest inspiration. You know, I know he's gonna handle me right. And look where his career now. If
He
it was
netted
handled
it
right,
clean.
you know, he would have been able to catch a second wind, but he didn't. He was used for the life of Pablo, and I feel like since then it was a downhill spiral.
Yeah,
So
that song part 2.
man, I used to
it just
love
doesn't
that.
feel right.
I
that
agree.
song
I didn't
in
like
there,
that
it doesn't
song.
feel
I loved
right.
it. I
Actually?
mean, but that's just different. My mom put me on a Kanye, so I got like a special relationship with not only Kanye, but just me and my mom listening to it. The Life of Pablo and Views ran that whole summer for me.
Yeah.
That was just like, and I was in travel baseball, so we traveled a lot. Man, those were in constant rotation, so I just knew that whole album front to back, like rap it with my mom. So I guess I got a personal bias, but bringing back Designer, he actually got caught stroking his chicken at an airplane, like
Impressive.
bro, it's crazy. And I think I don't know if it's rehab. I know he put himself into somewhere to get some help.
Yeah.
So like, he's been going through it a lot. There's a storyline and a build up to all the types of people that he's lost. He's lost a lot of people as of recent. So I think his mental health has really been deteriorating. Is that how you say it? I suck
yeah, you're
at
good.
saying that word, but I was like, I gotta try say it. But anyways, I mean, he's lost a lot of close people, especially with the recent PNB Rock and Takeoff. And he was having mental breakdowns on live on Instagram. And I'm indifferent when people get emotional on live or on video, but you could really see that it affected him like majorly. And I don't know. It's more so like I feel bad for him. Like it's weird because his career wasn't really handled right. It was a definition of the industry will chew you up and spit you out. Like they don't care if you're positive. They don't care if you. He always showed love to artists. There's so many clips and interviews of him showing love to anyone you could really think of because he really cared about the music. He really had that passion. But I think that passion, once he got it into the game and blew up with Panda, it got killed. And you got to see the downhill spiral that he had ever since. And I think it's real sad to look at and witness.
It is. And and it's really sad because you could tell the mental health, especially because the amount that death gets publicized and act like it's not even like a problem, or like people don't really acknowledge how valuable a life is. It's kind of really depressing that people are like memeing people like when Takeoff passed away. That was on the internet, bro. Same with seen.
That's all artists. I think you made it. I'm glad you actually like picked it back up to a certain topic that's still on topic, because talking about artist death is it's like it's normal now. You know what I mean? And this isn't something new that we're talking about that hasn't been talked about before. Like, oh, deaths need to stop. We need to stop the violence. We need to decrease these artists passing away, because it just seems like it just happens all the time.
It's getting
and
desensitized.
And it's like it's sad. It really is. And obviously memes come with the jokes, and it comes with it. It's the internet age and trolls, memes, whatever. But it's the fact is, it's like when we really sit down and be serious with ourselves, it's like, man, we lost these artists. Like we literally can't get no music, and we won't be able to see them no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really
a big
sad.
deal.
Yeah, because I think for me as well, one of the biggest ones, because I mean there was Takeoff and I mean a bunch of artists, even like it was a while ago, but X,
you got Pete,
Juice.
And for me, the one that was like the biggest impact was Mac Miller. Because I mean I started listening to him after he had already died. I had heard a few songs, but with Circles and Swimming, both of those were kind of set me in the direction of what I wanted to do for music, because I mean I love lo-fi, I love chill music, like I'm working on music right now with a friend that's like more lo-fi pop-ish, but I also want to include some jazz rap. But I think like my sound and what I like the most has been heavily defined by Mac Miller as well, because he raps and not only has like jazz in it sometimes, but even like stuff like Blue World I feel like is a lot more like, you could say like EDM in a way. And then even the entire Circles album, there was also a song, I think it was off of Circles as well. I remember listening to him like, Tyler the Creator could have made this. And for me, Tyler the Creator is one of my biggest inspirations. And I feel like he's hit so many different zones that have inspired me so much. And like whenever an artist passes away, it's like I hope to be a musician in the future, even if that's not like my primary career. Like one thing that I love is just creativity in all forms. So film, even doing this podcast, making music, doing art, clothes. And you know, I know that I've inspired some close friends to me now that they do the same thing, and they're happier because they get to make music with me, or we get to go hang out and go skate and listen to music. And like an artist can like really improve a person's life, or even set them on this entire creative direction, and to like have that taken away, like it's crazy or like impossible to think of like what would have Mac Miller like released an album. Maybe he would have released an album this year that would have been like life-changing for people and could have completely changed the entire music scene. And it's just stuff like that.
Yeah, Mac Miller definitely, I listened to him. My sister was a pretty big fan of Mac Miller, so shout out to her. Obviously she's put me on to a lot of artists, but Mac Miller, especially after he passed, when I listened to Circles, like it hit me harder, because obviously like a lot of the things he touched on, especially on the song like Good News, it really felt like it's weird to say because people always have conspiracy theories, or he guessed his death, or he knew it was coming, but like I don't believe in certain things like that. I just think he felt mentally drained, and that whole album felt like it was just like releasing everything that's been going through his head. And whenever I listen, it's hard. It's a hard listen. So like when I listen to Swimming or Circles, I have to be in a certain mood for sure. I don't listen to it a lot, but when I do, like, I'm like, dude, like, he really loved hip hop. He really like. This is something special that I feel like a lot of people took for granted, because the big thing that a lot of people talk about when talking about Mac Miller's death is it was at the same week that Astroworld dropped, and a lot of people were sending, you know, negative energy saying, oh, we don't care about that Astroworld drop. Like,
That's a wild
that was going on. And I remember, I'm like, I wasn't a big Mac fan at the time. I was excited, of course, Astroworld dropped, but I wasn't, you know, commenting him or sending him negative comments, oh, we don't care, you know what I mean? Like, when those are two completely different types of albums, you know what I mean? Like, I don't go to a Destroy Lonely album and then go to a Rex Orange County album and then just like, I go to Destroy Lonely comment section and say, I don't care, Rex Orange County drop, like, this is trash. Like, what sense does that make? Seriously, like, it literally, like, it has to be little kids, I would assume.
Doesn't
so, like,
even correlate.
But I just remember it was massive hate. It wasn't like something minuscule. Like, it was a big thing. So like, I just thought that's crazy that I feel like a lot of people definitely took him for granted. I think everyone, most of the times when artists pass away, we take them for granted. Not only fans, but artists that are around them. I mean, Ski, Master Slump God, even felt that he took the whole situation out of proportion with him and X, and he was like, damn, like, I wish I could have fixed our relationship before things happened. Like, they had a little fall off and their relationship was strained. And when you hear the album, Very Forgettable album, Members Only, part 4 or 5, when after he passed away, I think it was like a Ski Mask verse, and he was talking about, like, you know, I wish like, he was basically repeating himself, like, kind of like, I wish I could have done this, and like, I know that Ja's here, like, he forgave me, because like, I can't live my life being regretful and being like, man, X was mad at me the last time we talked.
What song was it?
I'd have to go through the album. I could show you it after, but I'll definitely show you the verse, because I was listening to that album like a week ago, just like running it back. I was like, I haven't listened to this in forever. I don't know why, but listening to it, and I'm like, that's a good outlook to have, because I feel like no matter what, Ski can't be too harsh on himself. I mean, he said that the thing that made the relationship strained or fall off a little bit wasn't that big of a deal. So I would think that X, since he was working his way up to being a positive person, I feel like he would have forgiven him. You know what I mean? Like, I think it was a good outlook to have, instead of just being like, man, I wish this, I wish that, and just say, I know he's looking down on me and saying, like, it's okay.
It's so sad to see how everything was treated after that too. His label really messed him up. Same with Juice. I think Mac Miller's the only.
Juice isn't as bad though, I wouldn't say. I feel like if people are blowing that Juice WRLD out of proportion, there is some shady stuff going on.
I can't.
But I think the X one is the definition of like a label not handling an artist like the worst. So far, Mac Miller's has been like the best treated, I would say. Especially with Circles. I mean, I think that album was like 80 to 90% finished, so like they didn't have to do too much tweaking to that album, so it was basically finished from what I know. But we'll see how the next Mac Miller album, whenever that comes out, see how that's handled. But that's the best treated, I'd say, as an artist that passed away.
Yeah. But yeah, final minute.
Yeah, so one thing, I haven't explained it to these guys, so as our listeners know, is at the end, we always choose a song of the day, each of us, like, we can just do, it doesn't have to be a small artist, just pick one song that you like. It can be a small artist, that's what we try to do, but just because it was on theme and I also didn't plan, I'm going to make my song of the day. We met at a Redville concert. I love Redville, so I'm making my song of the day Mars by Redville. Love that song.
Bro.
And then we'll try to go fast.
DTW to MIA by Lon. Shout out Lon, bro. W Detroit music, bro.
W plug. I'm going to go with an underrated sleeper album. It is Ray Shrimmered, Shrimp Life 4, Tanisha, or Pump That. That song is amazing. Get you in the groove.
That's why.
All right. We'll stop there. So... all right, I'm Arno.
I'm Jeffrey. I'm conflicted.
Just call me Justy Buns, and we out.
Yeah, we were the Unaccompanied Minors. Thank you guys for listening. And this is our trademark. This is our first time hearing this. But good night, Detroit. Good night, Detroit.